Henry Ward Beecher, a Congregationalist clergyman, social reformer, and abolitionist, said, "We should not judge people by their peak of excellence, but from the distance they have traveled from the point where they have started." The elderly of Elk River, Minnesota, and other communities surrounding hold the secrets, mysteries, and facts of our past. Being a graduate of Elk River High School, I took on this experience firsthand and saw that there was a lack of the intergenerational communication. I was not aware until my junior year of high school that there was an assisted living home no more than 2 miles away from the high school. A lack of communication between the elderly and youth negatively impacts Elk River, Minnesota's community. The following areas of Elk River have an effect on a sense of community: Elk River High School, Guardian Angels, an assisted living home in Elk River, and community education of Independent School District 728. After establishing the problem and the cause of the problem, we can cover 2 specific solutions. A lack of communication between Elk River High School and Guardian Angels residents negatively impacts the community. Elk River High School experiences this not only by being informed of the volunteer opportunity Guardian Angel holds, whereas Guardian Angel experiences this lack of communication a few times a year that they are exposed to the youth, such as the Boys and Girls Club activities. Other districts show signs of this negative networking, including Edina. They have been affected by this lack of communication and networking between the 2 generations. The Elk River paper, the Star News, on February 17, 2012, prepared and disseminated an online survey that went out to 489 students who are enrolled in the school district at the end of the 2010-2011 school year, but did not return at the beginning of the 2011-2012 school year. This is because there was a lack of programs at Elk River High School, so their parents pulled the students out. On March 2, 2012, Barbara Ramsdell, the advisor of the National Honor Society in Elk River High School, declared in an email that NHS does a few things with Guardian Angels, but it is not on a regular basis. Some of these activities included Christmas caroling, Valentine's, prom for seniors, and volunteering at special events. On March 5, 2012, Janice, a staff member of Foley Area Care, stated in an email that there was no program in place that connects the elderly and youth, but it would be a good practice to have in their community. There is a lack of communication between Guardian Angels and community education members. The members of community education consist of youth ranging from toddlers to adults. Adventure Club is a specific program where students can go after school to be in a safe environment until their parents and or guardians can pick them up. High school students do have few forms of attending volunteer work with Guardian Angels. However, this is on their own time with their own transportation. The youth do not have this opportunity to be around the elderly of Elk River unless they are part of a summer program, such as the Boys and Girls Club, or their parents are bringing them to the volunteer events. On April 9, 2012, Corey Franson, the program director at Community Education, suggested in a meeting that the elders of Guardian Angels help the youth that attend Adventure Club, an after-school program, with their daily activities. This lack of communication is noticed nationwide, where there are citizens trying to close the gap between the generations. Several studies have been completed where the research has proven that when the elderly and youth work together on life problems, youth were more satisfied with working with the elders rather than their peers. This proves that with more intergenerational communication, Elk River, Minnesota's community can be more established. Jenny C.C. Chung performed a study in 2009 where 49 elderly participants with early dementia and 117 youth volunteers participated. 2 youth participants were assigned to an elderly study to study and examine the values of the reminiscence program. Volunteers also showed positive appreciation of elders that this community service provided them with an opportunity to reflect on their relationship with elderly relatives. This shows that there is a lack of relationship between the elderly and youth, and a positive outcome demonstrates that the relationship can be effective. Eva Marie Kessa and Ursula M. Stadinger performed a study in 2007 that consisted of 180 women, 9 older women aged around 70 to 74 years old, and 90 girls from 14 to 15 years of age. The adolescents were recruited from 8th, 9th, and 10th grades. In total, from students from 27 school classes and 7 schools participated in the study. It was found that adolescents who worked with an older person on a difficult life problem showed more pro-social behavior than those who had worked with an older person on a media problem, or those who had worked with a peer on a difficult life problem. These studies both show the relationship between the elderly and youth have positive effects. In 2012, Elderly Living Source Incorporated stated that there are 326 assisted living homes in various areas of Minnesota. This shows that there's a substantial number of residents to accommodate the numerous amounts of students in high schools in the state. Now that the problem has been established, we can move on to the solutions. To create a stronger network between the high school and guardian angels of Elk River, we should create a non-existent program within the high school to give students another opportunity to join a club as well as to connect with their community. Students of Elk River High School will write letters to an assigned elder at Guardian Angels. Letters will be passed through an advisor to direct the flow. This same advisor will also be in charge of setting up times to let the students and residents have face-to-face communication. Students with licenses will be able to drive themselves, where students who cannot drive themselves would take the River Rider, a free-of-charge bus that runs through Sherburne County, or a bus that would have to be paid for either by the students participating in the activity or the high school. We should start with a pilot group to start out this program, specifically the volleyball team, where they would write letters weekly to an assigned senior at the Guardian Angels. The following year, we can add the soccer or football team to accommodate the male audience. And the following year after that, we can make it open to all students interested in the program, allowing it to flourish. My second solution is to connect the elementary students with the elders. We should go through a pre-existing group to make this connection, such as Adventure Club, the after-school program where the kids can go until their parents are available to pick them up. The students of Adventure Club would need to be transported to the Guardian Angels by the river. The type of transportation used is any current transportation Adventure Club uses or the River Rider bus. Students are there from the end of the school day, approximately 3 p.m., until their parents pick them up around 7 p.m. And there is an hour dedicated to enrichment, where the students work on educational or life problems. Once a month, the students would come to Guardian Angels, where the seniors would help them with this enrichment. Students from both solutions would need to be transported to the assisted living home because of a condition called sundowning. Sundowning is a condition where the brain starts to slowly shut down after a long day. Along with sundowning, residents are also more susceptible to anxiety when they are outside of their natural environment. In conclusion, if a program is created within the Elk River High School and a class is developed within community education, the youth and elderly of Elk River, Minnesota will both benefit. Our elderly have traveled much farther distances than we, and the youth must learn from them and their wisdom. What can we learn from those who have traveled farther distances than us?